Alright, good morning. I'm in Garden 3. Panda's where I've not edged. I'm where I have edged. Alright, thought processes. Since I used my rebars to hold the wiring around my culverts open, does that make sense? I'm not sure, I wasn't sure what I was going to do to hold my doors open. Because it's gotten warm now, I need to leave them open. And then, came to me in a dream. These are support rods for my electric fencing that I don't use because I have T-posts at the corners and I have them tied down just to keep them up safe. So I have several of these. My object is going to be to bang them into the ground because that way I should be able to, tie something from the door handle to the fiberglass rod and just have it hold the door open right here. And that way I can take my bricks, put them back in Garden 2 where I want to. Does that make sense? So that's chore number 1. And then chore number 2, because I've had moles moving in here, again, because I've not been taking care of it, I have some of these mole vibrators. I have used them before, and I'm going to see if they'll work out here. I'm going to start with them around the hoop tunnel because, I need to keep the moles out of here. When I've used these before, they worked. So let's hope they work again and keep the hoop tunnel clean and clear. And if I'm really lucky, it'll keep this first row here clean and clear as well. And I'll just slowly but surely push the moles out, as I get stuff done. Sorry, I thought I saw something. It's just a leaf at a crazy angle. Thought it was a baby bunny looking at me. Panda would have eaten it. All right, anyway, let me get started. Fiberglass poles, bang them in, get bricks over into Garden 2. Just kind of keep moving it. All right. Talk to you in a few. All right. Panda Bears, I know, it's such a good girl, huh? All right, so this is what we did. Fiberglass. I know I live in a rocky place. That's why I have T-posts at my corners, making sure my fence is straight instead of the fiberglass poles. Anyway, fiberglass didn't work. Couldn't get them in deep enough to hold the door. And I have a breeze going on today, so it was a great test. But what I do have is some metal spikes from where my electric cable spool that I used to have by the wood rack had collapsed, and I have a new one now. But I have the metal poles that hold the center of that up. Not quite as thick as a rebar, but just as strong. So what I did is I banged it in. I don't know, it's probably in a good foot. Might be more, I don't know, I didn't measure. And I'm gonna leave one brick around it. You can see where I've got it up against the corner. That way the door moves a little, but in a strong wind, it's not going anywhere. So what that does for me is that lets me take 5 bricks over to Garden 2 for the wall. There it is over there. And I'll have to leave 2 here instead of 7. I won't lie, every time I walk up to the workshop, I take a brick with me, so there's only 1 brick left for me to move. Both doors are in place. Things like I forgot the twine, or when I moved on to the next topic, my gopher vibrator thingies. Yeah. Hey, Panda, don't be digging in the garden. Hey, get out of the garden. The last ones I had were solar. I thought these were solar when I grabbed them. They're not, they're battery operated. Not going to take them back. I need to get them in the ground. Again, I have a mole issue going on over here. It's more up that way, but I don't need the moles to move down this way and find the hoop tunnel. I'm also quite sure that's why the snake was in here, because he was hunting. So then I got nervous because I realized that they were battery operated, and I don't know if I have the batteries. I do. It's a 10 little battery pack. They take 3 batteries a piece, so I will get 3 of them in. I won't be able to get the 4th one in, which is fine. If you look at the instructions, they cover roughly a 49-foot space circle. Look at my fence here. That is a 6-foot section. That's an 8-foot section. That's a 6-foot section. That's an 8-foot section. So, 8 and 8 is 16. 6 and 6 is 12. What is that? That's 30 feet. So if I put it centered this way, that gives me 15 feet of protection this way and 15 feet of protection this way. Does that make sense? So it'll cover front to back. It'll overlap and go outside the fence a little, which is what I want. And it will also cover this bed. And then it's the same thing going across. It's an 8-foot section, 6 foot, 8 foot, 6 foot, 8 foot. So if I put, you know, one towards this end and one towards that end, but up here somewhere, kind of, you know, next to this bed, what that does is that circles, that goes fence to fence, literally, and left to right. It'll cover both the hoop tunnel and this bed. Does that make sense? So that it'll keep the moles up that way. And then, since I only have enough batteries for one, I'll kind of figure out probably, what is that, 8, 6, 8, 6, probably there somewhere, but over here towards the middle. That makes sense? In the midst of all this tall grass is where I'll put the other one. That way it continues to cover this area, stopping the moles from moving down this way, and starts pushing them out of the garden area back up into the nature, into the woods where they need to stay. And then I can get some more batteries. I can put the next one in, again, up there somewhere. I don't want to fight and put the fourth one in, and I don't want to put the third one in, how do I say this, permanently, because I still got to do the swell. And I'm going to have to pull the third one out, so when I make the swell appropriately, it won't be in the way, and both of them will probably end up on the far side of this well. Anyway, just, you know, I'll bring you along when I actually make it to that point. But for right now, I'm going to get 2 of them in for sure. And the third one just kind of stuck up there somewhere, so the moles don't want to continue to move this way. All right, having said that, what do? They make a little vibration noise, and what it's supposed to sound like is a mole that is screaming it's in danger, that something like a wolf is trying to dig it up. And that way other moles don't want to come here. And it does a little vibrate thing like every 30 seconds. And, you know, it does. I'll let you hear I'll let you hear it once I get them in. It's the easiest way to say it. It is recommended that you don't hammer those because you don't want to damage them. So this is my broken rake pole, which is, if you look at it, the same size, isn't that awesome, as the poles for the spikes. So I need to measure out how deep I need to put it into the ground, wiggle it around, pull it out, put the batteries in the spike, put the spike in the ground. So, talk to you in a few. My handle just broke. And again, it was already off the broken rake, but it was the right size, but it broke. And what did that do? It's not deep enough for the spike yet. I'm about 2 inches too short. My answer is crap. All right, so let me go think about what I'm gonna do, because this is cracked. Kind of see it there, where the crack looks like it's all the way up here, but if you flip it over on the other side, this crack goes all the way up through the handle. So it's just not gonna be able to use that. So let me think about what I'm gonna do to make this hole. Again, you can't hammer these in because you'll damage the gear. So you've got to pre-start a hole. All right, I'll be back. I'll think of something. Talk to you in a few. All right, I'm hoping it'll make the sound so you can hear it. Did you hear it? Now that supposedly mimics a distress that'll make the moles and other critters not want to be here. And then what I did so I could finish the hole, so I went and I got the one that I used to make the ice pick with. It worked. I was able to finish the hole, and I'll be able to keep going. So, all right, let me start on number 2. Talk to you in a few. All right, number 2 is in the ground. I put the cardboard around it just to help weed control for a little bit till I get the black plastic in here, till I get the black woven plastic in, you know, to help keep the grass suppressed, etc. It'll also remind me while the white cardboard is there that it's there and for me not to step on it. Having said that, let's see if it'll beep again. Again, it's about every 30 seconds. So having said that, when I'd come over here, something had already started put my finger on it, yeah, right there. It's a critter hole. Now it's got some debris put in it. Critter hole, or the beginning of a critter hole. And that's what these guys are supposed to stop. You know? So, and then the third fun in all of that is I'm not going to get the other two in at all. I thought I had 10 batteries. You know? It's just what I thought. You know, why did I think I had 10 batteries? Because, let me get the shade so we can see it. There it is. It says it's got a 10-year shelf life. Doesn't say it has 10 batteries. It's only got 8. So I've only got 2 in. And again, one's here at this end. And the other is at that end. And figure they overlap here in the center. And there's more than enough here if you do circles. It makes sense to keep both this bed and the hoop tunnel protected. And then from there we'll see. Again, I've not used this kind. The ones I had before were solar, not battery powered. I'm assuming as the battery gets weaker, that circle of protection will diminish. And I don't know if they'll work on the critters here. You know? So we'll see. Otherwise, have an awesome day. And I'm moving on to my next task. Whew, that's right, come on to the shady side. I've almost lost my shade. Whew. All right. Next 5 Bics are in place. Had I been able to use the other 2, I might have actually finished it. Whew, getting a little warm. But yeah, so as always, we're level. Sorry. Bricks are level enough, you know, because again, the last brick I might have to adjust or whatever as I do the next couple of bricks, so it doesn't have to be perfect, but it's level. I was hoping I could get them in and then maybe start filling them. I'm not going to. Say it's close to 11:30 and we're above 85 degrees, and while I've been, you know, drinking gallons of water, it's time. It's time for me to go ahead and call it a day. Put the tools away, flip the black plastic over just to keep the weeds out, you know, and yeah, call it a day. Go home, sit in the air conditioning, give Pen an opportunity to go play in the panda pool. You see the mirrors pick up? She knows what panda pool means. She's like, yeah, let's play in the hose, Mom. Yeah. So while we're in here, asparagus is still doing great. Those are my original 2 garlics that had come up. A third one has come up with the deluge of rain we got. I have no idea why they're coming up this late. They should be so much more bigger and stronger than they are right now. I just don't know. Hi, Panda Bears. Hi, Panda Bears. Yeah, she's between my legs again. It's her favorite spot. Strawberries. These are the transplant. They're doing great. You can see where I've got a couple over there near the log. There you go. Just starting to blush a little. You know? So they too enjoyed the rain last week. You know, my 4 days of... Could have swore to God we were going to have Noah's Ark come by. All the blueberries and strawberries that are over here are doing awesome. You know, everybody's still living life large and loving it. So he was a transplant, still doing well. The one at the far end is a transplant. Walk on, Panda, walk on. Also doing well. You know. Whew. All right, so yeah, I was hoping I was going to do dirt today and then maybe do some edging and get the hoses run. I'm not getting that done today. At least not now. Maybe this evening after it cools down a little. But we're done. I'm done. It's time for me to go in the house. Panda's done too. You know? She's like, let's just leave, Mom. We're done. I'm tired of gardening. All right, so y'all have an awesome day. And Miss Panda and I will talk to you later.